Well, hey pals, Peeps here. Thanks for dropping in today. Hey, I thought I'd do a little, everybody's doing these kind of best ofs or top 10s or top 50s or top 100s or, let's see, top 40s. No, that's the radio. What I'm going to do here is just show you some of my favorite pickups from 2025 as they relate to sort of big moments, big seasons, big records, a theme that I've always been interested in, but have certainly focused in on pretty hard over the last 4 years, 3-4 years, I would say. Just really looking for specific, unique copies of big moments in the history of sports. Anyway, I thought I grabbed a handful of my favorites that were acquired in 2025. And some things are related to what's on the board now, but we'll quickly go over the board. Earlier this year, talking about, I think it was a response to Brent over at Brent Richards and baseball cards. What did he ask for? Oh, he asked us to share a big moment that we experienced live in sports. Or any event, really. I think it was open. But anyway, I had explained how my wife and I were at this game where Travis Ishikawa hit the walk-off home run in the NLCS to send the Giants to the World Series, which they then went on to win. That was something else. Picked up the Ishikawa Topps Black from that year just for, I think, $5 or something, and always loved this card. The only card that I know of that really shows that moment, that walk-off moment of Ishikawa headed down the third baseline to celebrate with his teammates while the crowd just goes bananas. And I can tell you, this was the most bananas a crowd I've ever been in at a sporting event. The stadium just absolutely erupted, and it was pandemonium. It was awesome, and I've got something to show that relates to that. But we're going to move on. I just want to explain. I just showed these two in the last episode. I think it was in the last episode. I picked up that Gibson Fan 17, the Heritage buyback from 2018. It is the buyback of the card you see on the right there. That is my Gibson Fan 17, Topps 1969, card number 182. The all-time record for strikeouts in a World Series game, 17 by Bob Gibson. Although they didn't win that World Series, they won the World Series the year before. This was their attempt to go back-to-back, but Bob did get a shutout in that game and struck out 17 in Game 1, and, is legendary for it. So I don't know who else is ever going to strike out 17 batters in a single World Series game, but if anybody can do it, I got a feeling I know who it is.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Moving on, I showed this one probably a handful of episodes ago. A fairly recent acquisition, one of the more recent. The Larson Pitches Perfect Game with Don Larson's signature in just the perfect spot. You know what I'm trying to say? Anyway, I was so stoked to find this, and it was quite reasonable, and it came from a really cool organization that I was supporting with the purchase. So really loved the whole package. Perfect game in the World Series. Will that ever be done again? I don't know. That's a weird one. It could, I suppose, but the likelihood is still really slim. And I hope it does happen again. I mean, that would be amazing. All right. on to the next one. Oh, there we go. We're dropping stuff. We're back. This is one I showed, I think not long after I picked it up. It was definitely in 2025, and what it is, well, it's obviously the 1962 Topps number 313 Maris Blast 61st. I love this card. It checks a lot of boxes for me. Huge moment, huge record. It has the multiple exposure thing that I have a mini collection of, and love those multi-exposure cards. I just saw one recently. It's a Japanese issue of Otani that I'm very interested in, but I digress. Here it is, Maris Blast 61st. And if you've looked for this before, you'll know what I mean. This copy is sick. Just ask Double D.
Learn it, know it, live it.
All right, I showed this one not that long ago as well. Of course, all these are 2025, so I don't know, I'm just yammering now. It's the Rennie Stennett most hits in a 9-inning game with 7 hits, and it's the Topps buyback, the 75th anniversary buyback. I believe this was 2014. Anyway, this buyback program had a couple of different size stamps. They had a kind of a really tiny one of the old Topps Curly T logo, and then they had this larger one. But this was picked up for just a few bucks. And what a cool record. Shout out to all my Pirates pals out there. Rennie Stennett with the 75 record breaker. 7 hits in a 9-inning game. When's that happening again? Here's the back. Anyway, again, I've showed a lot of these before, and then there's just a couple things I have not shown. I don't think I've shown this one. This was part of a PSA return, my last PSA order that I made probably a year ago, and I did not re-up. Maybe one day in the future, but not right now. Here, I sent in a couple copies of this 2023 SI for Kids Erling Haaland. This is the season that Haaland broke the record in the Premier League for goals in a season. Absolutely bonkers, especially in a league as tough as the Premier League. And just a great shot of Haaland. And I remember talking about this, maybe mentioning it a couple times, is that this is the only card that I know of that recognizes Haaland's record-breaking season, which is wild that it ends up in a SI for Kids release and not on any of the major releases, Topps, Panini, and so I was very interested in this card. I think I ended up buying 3 copies or 4 copies, sending a couple in. One of them did not get graded. They are hand, although it doesn't denote it on the flip. These are perforated. They're not cut, but they're perforated, and it's on the, well, just as any SI for Kids card. They're perforated in the magazine, and it's on you to tear them out nicely. And even if you do that, the centering is also, something that you can't control. You can control how nicely you pull it out. You can't control the centering. That one was centered super nice. Just got a 6, but I'm fine with that. It's more about, I don't know, I just wanted to get one of those slabbed up, the nicest one I thought anyway. All right, next we have a big one for me, that is 2024 Topps number 500, Topps Black. These were numbered to just 73 copies. The anniversary of the first Topps set. or the number of years since the first Top Set, I should say. And of course, this being such a huge season, the very first season that the Dodgers had with Shohei, the 50-50 season, this was an important card for me to try to find and acquire. It fits right in. And that was a big pickup in 2025, for sure. Luckily, it was long before the massive surge of Ohtani fandom. And this one took me a long time to find last year. A centered one. The 2025 Topps Heritage Blue Sparkle. These are not numbered, but the color match was too good to resist. Of course, this denotes the very first 50-50 season. And I just think this card looks fabulous. A lot of the ones that were coming out early onto the market were off-centered. They were all shifted to the right. And this one showed up already graded and very well centered. Perfectly centered, really, as far as I can tell. And it was reasonable, very reasonable. So I snapped it up. I had lost out on a gold at one point. I was trying for the gold. I missed. It was far too much. This blue looks fabulous in my book. Couple of shows. Let's see, we're crowding the board here. And we're zooming in. And we're zooming out. I think we need to rearrange. All right, next up I have an interesting one from the sport of hockey, which I also love. Kind of overdue for a hockey video, but this was a big one that I was kind of looking for last year. It's not numbered, it's a case hit, and I sort of attach it to the big season for Alex Ovechkin, who broke Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal scoring record, and still on the ice, of course, and playing well. And well, here it is. It's the Upper Deck Clear. Not numbered, case hits, clear acetate. You know, I like to try to find unique copies from big seasons, big records. There's the back. And I thought this was a really interesting one. Upper Deck's been doing clear for quite a long time. It's a pretty long-standing parallel, and love that one. There's that, and now we're down to the last few things, and I feel like I need to rearrange again, frankly. All right, the last two things I wanted to show. One was just one thing here, and we're going back to the original board. One thing I wanted to show was just something my better half found in one of her books, and it blew me away and was super cool. And the other is a pickup. Let's show the pickup first. I managed to find the 2001 Topps Golden Moments Don Larson Pitches Perfect Game. This is the employee set. These were sets that were given to the employees as gifts. They were full sets, and rumor has it there's about 150 sets out in the world, so 150 copies of each card. And this was had for very little, and I just love it. It fits perfect in my collection. It captures that moment. Love the golden moments. I've talked about it many times. To find the employee set copy, we'll pair it with that autograph. Guess we're going to cover up Bob for a minute. Anyway, I just thought that was a great compliment to the Larson Auto. And last but not least, my better half was flipping through one of her books, and lo and behold, How do you like that? The 2 tickets resurfaced from the game we were at. I flipped out. I didn't think we still had these. But there they are. To 2025. Take care of each other, people. Peace.